First quote is make it as easy as possible to work as hard as possible. I love that one. I love that one. Have you ever listened to the audiobook or read the book called Chop Wood, Carry Water?
No.
It's a really good one. I love that quote too, chop wood, carry water. Because when you're chopping wood, when all you're doing is chopping wood and carrying water, you know what to do. So you can just chop and 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 chop. And then you can carry and carry and carry and carry and carry the water. And you can work hard at it. But a lot of people don't even know what to do. They're just confused. And so they can't work as hard as possible. Or they do know what to do, but they're super distracted. You know, they got their parents knocking at their door, they got their cat and dog walking in, they got their kids crying next to them, they're breastfeeding, you know, they're just really distracted, and they can't chop and chop and chop and chop the wood and carry and carry and carry because they're getting distracted. So just make it as easy as possible to work as hard as possible.
So what are some obstacles that you feel like are in your way before this event to have that laser focused chop wood, carry water? So what is the action step for you, and how can we learn from that?
It's going to lead into one of the other quotes.
That's how podcasts flow.
Yeah, it leads into one of the other quotes, I think. I mean, there are some obvious things people can do, even myself, and one of the things we were kind of joking about earlier, which is like the difference between a maker and a manager. Mm-hmm. There's a maker schedule and a manager schedule. And a manager schedule, rightfully so, is full of a bunch of different meetings. Whereas a maker schedule is...
No meetings.
No meetings. Wide open. And so understanding if you're a manager or a maker and then setting your calendar up accordingly. Because if you're a maker and you got all these meetings and shit, are you really making it as easy as possible for you to work as hard as possible? No. Because you got these freaking meetings coming in the way, right? Like this podcast. But yeah, so that's part of it. Just understanding like what are you supposed to be doing? That's a big one.
Yeah, because you can't flow.
You can't flow.
You know, like, and there's loads of even research into this where it's like if you are a maker, like whether you're a painter or a coder or you're writing your book, you're finishing your book.
Yep.
If you have a meeting, even at like 2 p.m.
Oh, dude.
Your whole day is just like it revolves around that.
Yep. 100%. I know what that's like.
1,000%.
1,000%. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the first key takeaway. But I think one other way to make it as easy as possible, to work as hard as possible, is to understand this next quote, or to hear this next quote.
Bro, you can interview yourself. This is epic.
And the next one is maximize losing track of time. Like when you optimize for that, you're in flow state. And flow state is you working hard, but it doesn't feel like it. You just flow and you're so productive. Hormozy puts out 350 pieces of content per week. I don't think he feels like he's grinding out 350 pieces of content. He's just flowing, he's maximizing, losing track of time by doing his writing, by doing his tweets, which he said is his highest leverage activity, just tweeting. And then the team does the rest. The team, chops it up, boom, 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 does the rest. And I think maximizing losing track of time doesn't just apply to you as a CEO, it applies to like everyone on your team. Everyone on your team ought to be in a position where they're maximizing losing track of time as well. Then your whole team is just in flow. So
I think you need different people on your team to be on a maker schedule, but you need someone to be on a manager schedule.
100%. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Sam said something interesting yesterday too. He said he found that whenever his team would start slowing down and becoming less productive, it was always when they were working on more than one thing at a time. And so they've got a rule now, which is when someone's working on something, when someone on the team is working on something, nobody else on the team can give them other tasks. Like, no, she's working on that. No, he's working on that. No more tasks. Let them finish that thing. Because they need to focus on finishing that thing. So yeah, protecting your space, protecting your calendar, protecting your time, protecting your focus. That will help maximize losing track of time.
What things do you do that makes you lose track of time?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but yesterday I was begging Hormozy to give us all his book writing process. Because for me, writing is when I lose track of time. Writing is one of the easiest ways for me to lose track of time. And Hormozy is like, I don't recommend anyone write a book unless you love it. I'm like, I love it. I love writing. So writing for me is super, it's like that, super enjoyable. And like I can write for an hour or 2 hours, no problem. And then if I don't like what I wrote, I have no problem highlighting it all, deleting it. Like, I just spent 2 hours. It wasn't a waste of time, but I spent 2 hours doing something I enjoyed. I don't need to hit publish or post. So it was a good use of time. That's me losing track of time. One way.
Outside of business?
We were playing darts. That was really fun.
$100 bill.
Just got into dart throwing yesterday. I lost track of time. Darts. That's a good one.
Oh, it's a form of play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Play and flow. We're
Play.
like super connected.
Yeah, video games.
Yeah.
Bro,
When you were talking about writing something and then deleting it, I was thinking about my 3-year-old building Lego, and then what does she do?
Yeah.
Knocks it down.
Knocks it down.
Builds it again.